I am Marwan Cameron, and this is The Conduit. All right, y'all, it is Sunday night, October 17th. It's a wet one today in Kitsap County, 49 degrees. It's fall, but winter is here. How y'all doing this evening? I hope that you had a good weekend. The weather's changing. It's changing pretty quick. So hopefully you are getting ready. You know, I had a different show planned for you tonight. As you can see, I have on my jacket. I'm not going to be on long because I got somewhere I got to go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And it kind of changed my show tonight. So I had a nice long one centered around issues, you know, continuing conversation around emergency preparedness and getting ourselves ready, relationship between each other. But I think this is more important tonight. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that. I'm going to get in here and then I'm going to go ahead and get out in the street. Thank you, Mr. Dent. Says I'm looking and sounding good. So it looks like I'm 5x5, which is what I'm hoping for. As you can see, the studio is making its changes. Definitely excited about that. So shout out to Rob for his work doing that. So we're definitely, well, I'm definitely excited about it, you know. Hopefully it looks good for you. Gives you something pleasing to look at as the winter comes in. So, you know, as I said, you know, trying to pay attention to so many different things that are going on, you know, both locally and nationally. Well, really even globally, right? Because all these things are intertwined together. And, you know, there's this recurring theme, and I know a lot of you guys have heard about this, where they're telling you that there is some supply chain issues and you are being, in no uncertain terms, advised to maybe get your Christmas gifts now. You know, even our vice president was suggesting that you do so. And so for me, I find that curious. And I find it curious for a few different reasons. You know, on the one hand, you know, yeah, you want people to be able to save a couple dollars and, you know, get the gifts now. If what they're going to face are some issues with not getting what they want for themselves or for their children, you know. And on the other hand, I'm thinking about the state that millions of Americans find themselves in right now. Homelessness, housing insecurity, food insecurity. And our leadership is telling folks to go buy your new TV now. Go get those toys now. But at the same time, you know, the bump up in unemployment has been taken away. The eviction moratorium in many places let's just speak for Washington State, right? Is now a bridge, right? A temporary bridge that is only being renewed on a monthly basis. So who knows when that's going to end? And what is going to be the impact on those that maybe who were encouraged by their government to buy Christmas presents, find themselves now not having first, last deposit. That relationship with that landlord is untenable, and now they're able to be evicted. See, those Christmas presents ain't gonna matter much, are they? All right, let's see. We got a shout out to Sabrina. Some probably won't have a Christmas. People wait for their holiday bonus. People live paycheck to paycheck, and some people don't have extra money, right? That's facts. That's facts. I'm going to share some information with you, um, because I've been saying this for a while, right? Winter is coming, but winter is here. And I'm going to share with you an email that came through from a new client of ours. And so many of us don't see it, don't want to see it. It's not our problem. We got our own issues. I don't know what of those categories you may fall into. But as you can see, more and more Americans are falling into distress. And while many of us have been in distress far before a pandemic, there's a tipping point. And so we're hearing crazy radical talk, and it's more mainstream. Now I'm getting a little off topic, but my hope is this conversation may get folks to realize that the commercialization of what was originally a religious holiday, right? Celebrating the birth of Jesus. My dad used to tell me um, Christmas would come around, and we're kids. We want presents, right? And if we got a little beside ourselves, oh, we want Christmas. We want this. We want that. He would tell us Jesus is the reason for the season. It's his birthday, not yours. And would just shut it down, right? So many Christmas for us were essentials: socks, underwear, clothes. Some Christmases we had, fun things, a lot of them. But we had one particular hard Christmas where the gift was a box of cereal. Your box of sweetened cereal, that's what you wanted. So I tell folks that story, and I tell them, I had that box of cereal for about 6 weeks. That cereal was stale. And to this day, I will not eat that cereal. And so I think about how we cannot take accountability and blame the way that our kids are on society, on the commercialization, on walking through the grocery store or department store or Walmart or cartoons. Daddy, daddy, I want. Mama, mama, I want. Now, Layla's blessed, and I would say probably spoiled in comparison to a lot of children. But it was important for me for her to understand the difference between a need and a want, right? I need it, I need it, I need it, or I want it, right? Is this something that you want, or is this something that you need? And why do you need it? And how do you discern between the two of them? And it's interesting. It seems to be working, at least for now. We'll see what happens when she hits her teens. But she actually doesn't ask for a whole lot when her birthday or Christmas rolls around. It's a hard time thinking about what she wants. But I'm confused. I'm puzzled because our government understands what we're going through. Our president and vice president have only been in office for almost a year. And yet, the platforms that they ran on, they understood the state of what Americans were going through. And so if that's the case, then why push Buy your Christmas presents now. You might want to get your gifts now. We know gas prices are rising. You know food costs are rising. Have you seen the shelves? It's been a quiet, slow boil. But hey, let's not take it from me. Let's go ahead and get into it. Fair use, per usual. Let me go ahead and put that up there. So we're going to go to GMA. Let's go ahead and listen to this conversation here, and then we'll come back.
Supply chain disruptions, empty shelves in stores all across the country, and rising prices for what's in stock. President Biden announcing a package of measures to hopefully break the logjam and get things moving again. Kaylee Hartung starts us off in Los Angeles at one of the nation's busiest ports. Good morning, Kaylee.
Hey, good morning, Robin. The Port of Los Angeles expanding its operations to 24/7. This morning, we have already seen ships moving in and out. This massive container ship behind me is in the process of unloading. But of course, this is just one step in a much bigger supply chain that is seeing disruptions all around the world. Goods need to get moving faster, and now President Biden is calling on the private sector to step up.
This morning, Americans are paying more for everything from diapers to new cars, and long waits are getting longer for online orders. Toys, bikes, toasters, sneakers, they're getting harder to find.
There are certain things.
Are you seeing this? When you're out shopping, are you seeing the prices that are rising? Are you seeing that things are starting to not be plentiful on the shelves, or they're out? Have you seen anything like last year where they're saying, only one or two per customer? See, we have so many distractions, right? We've got the vaccine passports. We have the holidays. We have sports. We have COVID fatigue. We have all these things kind of competing for our interest, and yet these things are happening in front of us and around us. So what little money many of us have goes even less than it was before. Are you seeing it? And if you're not, or if you're not in a position where you're the person that doesn't typically do the shopping, or you're wondering, you come home, it's like, hey, I gave you $200. Why is there 3 grocery bags left? Less. It's like, well, the prices have risen. What are you doing to adjust for it? Are you still enjoying that Starbucks? Are you still eating out? Is Uber Eats coming to your house tonight? What is it?
Things that are not coming, that will not be here.
In order to keep your shelves full, we have to order 8 weeks in advance.
As a massive supply chain nightmare threatens the holiday shopping season, President Biden laying out the strategy to solve the crisis.
We're going to help speed up the delivery of goods all across America.
Calling on business, shipping, and labor companies to work together to end the crippling bottleneck.
FedEx and UPS are the shippers for some of our nation's largest stores. Their commitment to go all in on 24/7 operations means that businesses of all sizes will get their goods on shelves faster and more reliably.
About 40% of all U.S. imports come through Southern California's ports, but a fleet of ships is sitting idle there.
All right, I don't know if I can rewind it enough to pause, right? This is current. So the things that you bought that you're waiting on, I order a lot off of Amazon. That's where a lot of that is, right? And that supply chain, right, it just continues to back up, right? So they keep passing down that cost onto you, which is why the prices continue to rise. Sabrina says, I knew diaper prices seem ridiculous lately. Such a shame people are going to be crazy if we need to get what's on the shelf and people are already crazy during the holidays. Right. Absolutely right. And it's kind of like what you said, right? A new diaper prices seemed ridiculous lately. It's like, I got to have it, so I'm going to go and get it. And you're kind of like, man, did I pay this much for this last time? Man, it sure seems like it's going up. What's gas right now? I think I put in, I think I was over $4 a gallon the other day when I filled up. I mean, it's crazy right now.
There, containers stacked high, waiting to be unloaded. Now 2 of those ports are working around the clock. Biden's goal to cure the shipping backlog and tame the high inflation it's caused. Inflation now up nearly 5.5%. In the meantime, experts say Americans should expect to keep paying more, even at the grocery store. Eggs and meat both costing 12% more.
Eggs and meat up 12% right now. And this doesn't, whatever President Biden is going to try to put in place, this isn't instantaneous, right? So this is probably going to persist for a while. 12% is huge. That's not small. That's basic food.
More than a year ago.
The chicken has never been overpriced. Now we're paying $100 a case when we used to pay $40, $50.
And it's not just.
All right. So it's important that you listen to folks, right? So they're saying up 12%. The restaurant owner says we were paying $100 now when we were paying $40 or $50. That's more. That's at least 50% increase. Right? Remember, this is an average, so it depends on where you're at. But he's telling you his experience. Rob says $3.53 per gallon as of today, and all groceries are higher now than a month ago. Yeah, absolutely.
Groceries. This year has seen record-breaking price jumps for children's shoes, up nearly 12%. Furniture.
Wow, 12% for children's shoes, right? And for those of us with little kids who are constantly growing out of their shoes, man, Layla's feet grow quick. And, for me, we grew up poor, of course. And in that, my dad, he didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So he just felt like shoes were shoes. But when your kids are small, they actually really need to wear good quality shoes. See, we used to get teased when we were children because our tennis shoes came from Safeway. There was a time when, you can get bananas and get the shoes, they're basically right next to each other. And the kids would call them Safeway sliders. Or for those that remember Thriftway Thunderbolts. And since everybody goes to the grocery store, everybody knew when you had your shoes from Safeway.
Up more than 11%, and even going out to dinner will cost you an unprecedented 5% more than last.
What's interesting about the dinner piece, right? So it's 5% increase on average, right? Could be higher other places. I was just talking with Rob because Monkey turned 21 yesterday. Shout out to Monkey. And he was talking about the price of alcohol, right? And how it's increased and how ridiculous it is for one drink. Just dessert at the Cheesecake Factory, right? Ridiculous. And as we have become busier and we're in a microwave society and everything is quicker, we don't know how to cook. We don't want to cook. I raise my hand on that one. Although, when I do it, I got to say, I'm not too bad. The Uber Eats, all the deliveries. Have you seen those deliveries going up? The price of, fast food going up. Man, what happened to do you remember the all-American meal deal at McDonald's? What was it, like $2 or something like that? Anyone remember that? The all-American meal deal. And then, there was fast food used to brag because, you can get a full meal for $5. Then, it got to the point where it was under $10. And now you can go and get a number 7, pick a restaurant, and it could be $12, $13, $14. And you're like, man, what happened? This is fast food, right? $15, I can go and sit down at Olive Garden and order from there. Like, this is insane. And I'm putting this junk in my body that's killing me. Like, what? Just saying.
Last year.
The pandemic has pushed so much of our shopping online, and e-commerce sales are soaring. Amazon just announced they have already sold 1 million toys this holiday season. That's just in the last 10 days. They say LOL dolls and
All right, so Amazon has sold 1 million toys in the last 10 days. So do you think that Americans are prioritizing the fact that winter's here? Toys ain't gonna keep you warm.
Lego sets are among the items that are selling the fastest. It sounds like consumers are not taking any chances, George, and really getting to shopping quicker than ever.
Consumers aren't taking any chances, right? So they're not taking any chances. They got to have their Christmas gifts. Oh, but whether or not they're able to pay their rent next month or keep the lights on or pay the water or get the things that they need, well, that's a whole nother story. And what's unfortunate is the scenario that we find ourselves in, where we turn around and can blame folks for being poor, right? And this would be a great reason to point to where they're like, hey, look, you knew that you weren't able to pay your rent. You knew that you weren't able to pay these bills. You knew that there's a pandemic going on. You knew that you have comorbidities. You knew that you're living in a time of uncertainty. You knew that you need to save for a rainy day. You knew that we're long past due on an earthquake. You knew Texas had a snowstorm and lost power and people died. You knew there was flooding on the East Coast. You knew that New Orleans and many other states faced another natural disaster. You knew there were forest fires all up and down the West Coast. You knew there was a supply chain issue and all these prices are rising. You knew, well, you might want to get those gifts now or you're not going to be able to get a hold of them. Why? Because they told you, right? You knew that even though there's rental assistance, it's hard to get the money. It's hard to qualify for it. You can only get it once. Things open back up. They want you to go back to work. Here comes the Delta variant. You knew that even if you're vaccinated, it doesn't prevent you from getting COVID, but it's likely to prevent you from being hospitalized or dying, which means you're still going to lose work. You knew that if your kids get COVID, you're not going to be able to send them to school. You knew that if you can't send them to school, that means that you probably can't go to work because who's going to watch the children while you go to work? We can put our head in the sand and we can be fatigued and we can be tired. But the truth is, it can always get worse. It can always get worse, and it often does. Rob says, I can remember feeding us for under $20 at fast food. Now it's almost 40. Right. And that's for 3 people, right? He also says they are not preparing for bad times. Oh, Marwan, you're fear mongering. You're putting too much on it. You need to relax. I think it was Thursday, which is a really busy day for me, right? We have our resiliency econo systems workshop. Shout out to them. We interviewed Mayor Wheeler that evening. There's other meetings that I needed to go to. And I got 2 phone calls of folks that I've never spoke to before that are seeking help. Desperate for help, as though they are after all the things that I just went through you knew about has happened. They're facing that now. And those are just the ones that have reached out to me. And what's interesting about it is somehow they got my personal cell phone number. Sabrina says, many people don't understand and don't want to. Shaking my head. No, you are just looking at it realistically and very practical. There's not enough resources for everybody. Right? You see what's happening in Afghanistan. You see the millions of dollars, billions, that we're going to continue to shell out. I think we're even talking about paying some type of reparations for the drone strike that accidentally killed all those people, right? We've got the multi-millions of dollars to resettle all the Afghan people that are here. We have the issues with the border and immigration and folks coming in. Climate change has been wreaking havoc with our country. Homeowners and landlords can't pay their mortgages. Businesses that have closed, right? We don't even talk about where are they now. So for the people in 2020 that lost their companies, where the hell are those people at? What are they doing right now? Are they thriving? Mental health is in the toilet. Suicide is up. Depression is up. Abuse is up. Assault is up. Murder is up. Get your Christmas presents now. What the hell? Unemployment's already been cut. Employers are saying, hey, look, we've raised wages and people don't want to work. So what happens when you don't have a choice and you do find yourself at McDonald's? And even if you are, again, we can run the numbers, right? $15 an hour, 40 hours a week, $600. 0.8, because about 20% of that is going to go to taxes and FICA and everything else. Right? So again, 40 hours, $15, 600 times 0.8, $480 a week. That's what you're going to take home on average. Multiply that by 2, your take home is about $960 every 2 weeks. You really can't live in a place for under what, 12 in Kitsap County? And that's if you're by yourself, unless you're renting a room. So you're bringing home $2,400 every month. If your rent's $1,500, well, that leaves you with what, $900? Electricity, cable, cell phone, toiletries, I mean, you need your deodorant, your toothpaste, and your dishwasher or dishwashing liquid. Maybe you don't have a dishwasher, right? Your cleaning supplies, your laundry supplies. Don't add children into the element, but we don't even have to go there. Do you have student loans? Oh no, you didn't go to college, but you got a car. You need fuel. What about your insurance? Does your car need to be repaired? Is it time for your tabs? Are you paying off a ticket? Do you have any court costs? Are you paying your insurance or are you riding dirty? See, that $900 goes pretty quick. Do you even qualify for food stamps because you're making that much money? Oh, but we got Halloween. Oh, if you got kids, they're gonna want to dress up. They're gonna want to have candy, right? You're gonna want to go to places. And Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Yesterday was Monkey's birthday, right? It's 21. It's a big one. So you got Halloween, you got birthdays, you got Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Man. Robert says the wages now can't possibly keep up with the cost of everything, right? And the things that I'm saying, I'm not even applying the percentage increase that they just said in the article, right? The 12% for meat and eggs, the basics, right? Shoes. Everything is up. But you know what? YOLO, let's kick it. I mean, hell, that's what the vice president is telling us to do, right? Get your gifts now. And Americans are listening to that, right? A million toys purchased in 10 days. I mean, eventually something's got to come to a head, folks. I mean, you can't keep the moratorium continuously going, right? You're just delaying the inevitable. And you can't build housing fast enough to deal with the onslaught of evictions that are going to take place. And at the same time, on the flip side, while you're doing that, you're harming the homeowners and the landlords. And what do you think that's doing to the relationship between the two? So if you ain't been paying rent, and I'm seeing all these, now hiring, bonus, and everything else all over the place, right? $15, $18, $20 an hour, and you're not paying me? You're not even giving me anything, and you ain't got it? I can't wait to get you the hell up out of my place. See what I'm saying? You got to go. Layla needs her dad to make sure she's good. Y'all can understand that, right? But when you say, well, it's not my fault, there's nothing I can do, right? People just need to understand it was outside of my control. Well, that's what they're saying, right? It's not my fault. I didn't create the pandemic. I let you move into my place, and this is what the rent is. And you can't pay, and it's destroying me. Everything right now is kind of pitted where we're all against each other. And it's unfortunate. It's always so frustrating to watch these news folks, I'm just watching George Stephanopoulos here, and I don't know what her name is. Everything just seems to be more what I'm doing, right? Opinion based. Let's finish this.
George.
It sure does, Kaylee.
Well, hey there, G.
And then, it just seems so tone deaf. It's like the article ends, and then, I know it's a segmented cutaway to tell people, hey, tune in, right? And I guess you don't want it to be so somber, but it's like, oh, hey guys, tune in and watch our show. It's like, wow, seriously. It's like, yeah, that's what it is. But that's what's going on right now. Okay, I got one more thing for you. Because these things are important, right? These things are important.
Welcome back to Data Download Time and a look at what's causing these supply chain backups. We're going to follow just one product, an Apple iPhone, but it shows you the example. They'll show you how the breakdowns at every step of the process have led to shipping delays for you. Really, no matter the product. This is the iPhone, but this is even running shoes. Isan Precision Engineering. They make some component parts for the iPhone. Well, they had to shut down for a couple weeks due to both some health concerns and some power issues. This is not the only factory in China that's had these issues, but this is one that's impacted the iPhone. So there's your delay in manufacturing the iPhone. Now, they get the iPhone done. Now they're putting it on a container ship. Well, guess what's happened, particularly as we've seen this sort of pent-up demand? The amount of cargo being sent from China to the United States is up some 27%. That has led to quite the backlog of big container ships outside on the west coast of the United States. Trust me, flying in and out of LAX, look out the window, you'll see this traffic jam, not just on the 405. But let's say you get the container ship empty. You got to actually take that from the ports to the store shelves, whether it's your Apple store, T-Mobile, Sprint, AT&T, et cetera. Well, we have a huge truck driving issue. In fact, since 2019, there are 22,000 fewer people in the truck driving industry, and this was an industry that was already struggling to find drivers even pre-COVID. Now, even harder than before. So you have a hard time getting the actual product to the shelves. Then you throw in, this has been a problem not just for iPhones, really for anything manufactured in China. So what has it meant overall? Pre-COVID, it basically took an average of 40 days to get a product from China to the shelves in the United States. 2 years later, it has almost doubled. It now takes 73 days. And the real fear is that this is only going to get worse. Why? Demand's only going to grow, and we're still going to have this problem. We'll see. Some people think this could take years, not months, to unravel.
So, again, just quickly to show you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube
when they talk
channel.
about global, right? I mean, this is a global thing. So China's facing things just like we are, right? Sickness, whatever they have going on, and then you have this delay. And all those shipping containers are sitting out there. It's tough, right? Hold on real quick. Hello? All right. That was a out of state call there, so figured I'd answer that. Hold on. Hello? Yeah, I hear you. Can you call me right back in 5 minutes? I'm live. Yeah, call me back in 5 minutes. All right, you got it. Bye. All right, so that's another call, right, for help. I was having a conversation with my office manager. Shout out to Stephanie. And, shout out to Kitsap Strong also, because we were able to attend the 4th annual resiliency workshop there. And many of our folks are able to come and learn, which is great, right? But we also have to be resilient. As service providers, it's stressful. And as more and more people are going to need help, we're going to start feeling that stress. And for a lot of folks that we help, right? There's a lot. That weighs on us also. And it weighs on, the folks that I do this work with, right? They have their own organizations, but, shout out to Martita and Christina and Akuye and Deborah and all the others that are out here doing this work. It's fatiguing. But this email came in the other day, and I wanted to share this. And this person is getting evicted. And they've been working on everything that they could. I'm not going to share their name, so this is just copied and pasted into a Word document. And so I told them, bro, we'll try to help them with eviction assistance and rental assistance and do what we can, But what else do they need? And they've been trying to hang on. But at this point, this is the list of the things that they don't have. Toilet paper, tampons, regular, non-scented, shampoo and conditioner, face wash, toothpaste, denture cleaner, denture paste, bar soap, body lotion, body oil, razors, toothbrush, hairbrush, bath and body sponge, bandaids, Q-tips. Okay, are these not regular things that we all need? This person doesn't have these things. And they can't pay the rent. Laundry soap, liquid laundry softener, fabric softener, dryer sheets, kitchen bleach cleaner, garbage bags, dish soap, Swiffer cleaner for mopping the floor, the pads, Fabuloso, which is, the solution used to clean. Febreze, smell good spray. That made me smile. Lysol spray and wipes, bathroom tub and cleaner with bleach, magic erasers, probably get the markers or the marks off the wall. Toilet cleaner, bathroom bleach cleaner, Windex, rags for cleaning, bath towels because my clothes, towels, and rags have been stolen from the laundry room here on the complex property. I have none. Garbage can for the kitchen. Dog food. If possible, a dog bed for a large dog, a husky. Ankle socks for a female, size medium or 8. And she says here, I can't express how grateful I am for all the amazing help you have shown me and helped me accomplish. I've never in my 40 years of life experienced so much kindness. So thank you very much. I know my list is large, so I will appreciate anything I receive with the utmost gratitude. Again, thank you so very much for everything you all do for myself and our community. Everyone working with this company, please know you're truly changing lives daily. We don't know this individual. This person was given my number by someone else and called me on Thursday. Desperation, hopelessness. And she understands we're not saying that we're getting everything on the list. Just let us know what it is that you need and we'll see what we can do. And she's saying in 40 years, she's never experienced so much kindness. Are we serious, America? So that's why I have my coat on. And that's why you're not getting a larger show, because I need to head out to Walmart and get some of the things on this list. The resources are drying up. The situation is getting... Winter is already here. But it's been winter for many years for so many people. I don't know what that was. It's been winter for millions of Americans that have been suffering unseen for years. And as more of the working class and others see, because they start to experience homelessness, housing insecurity, food insecurity, There aren't any resources. They're so finite, folks. So you've got to figure it out. We've got to find a way to work together. So while they're telling you, hey, get your Christmas presents now, I would tell you, do not take that advice. That's not good advice to take from the vice president. That toy is not going to keep the heat on. That toy is not going to keep you housed. And at the end of the day, as poor as we were, the most important thing is that we were together and we had a home. We enjoyed the holiday meal that we had. And we understood, although as a kid, it's hard to kind of wrap your head around it, right? But like I said before, my dad said, Jesus is the reason for the season. And so we've got to make sure that we're accountable as parents, that our kids don't get so caught up in the commercialization and wanting things that they don't need. What do they need? Are you preparing them to go out into the world that is already so hard for millions of Americans? What are you doing? So I'm headed out, y'all. I'm going to go get the things on this list and help this family out. So there's no long show tonight unless I have insomnia. If I do, I'll be back at 1. But we have 2 shows for you tomorrow. At 3 p.m., we have the Bremerton Housing Authority. The Executive Director, Jill Stanton, will be on with us at 3 p.m. And Matt Garrett from Kitsap Community Resources. Last Thursday, we had the mayor. We are looking to have his opponent on this week. We also have Kitsap Public Health coming on, so shout out to Holly. So tune in tomorrow. Tune in for Deborah's Corner on Tuesday at 5 p.m. and Resiliency Econosystems on Thursday for their workshop. They'll be getting into the 4 agreements and I think another book, but we'll see. But for now, I am Marwan Cameron. This is The Conduit. I will catch you